Hey everybody, Tim and Miranda here for another review of Doctor Who. Story number 209, the 11th hour. So, we've left the days of Davies behind. No more 10, no more Rose. Done, gone. Which it's funny.
I'm just like bringing her back like in the new episodes just once.
So, I'm not gonna say anything. So I've commented before, every season, Moffat has had my favorite episode. Yeah. The Empty Child two-parter, the lady, the woman in the fireplace. The girl in the fireplace. The girl in the fireplace. The Blink episode, and then Silence in the Library. Like, Moffat has always been my favorite. And so they were like, fuck it! Let's give him, let's make him the showrunner. And so here we are. He is the showrunner for the next 6 seasons. He did 3 seasons with Matt Smith, and then 3 seasons with Peter Capaldi. So here we are, the first episode of Matt Smith. What did you think? That's the debut of Matt Smith, Karen Gillan, and Arthur Duvall.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I do like Matt Smith and stuff but this very first episode, I gave it a 6. Like, it's nice seeing Matt Smith and Karen Gillan. Again, I mean, Arthur Duvall, like, he's okay.
He's better.
Adorable. He does get better.
He does get better.
He does get a lot better.
Especially when they, after, like, spoilers, we'll just jump ahead. Like, after they're, like, married, and once he becomes a companion.
Yeah.
And, like, the doctor always calls him Mr. Pond.
Yes.
And he's like, it's what is it, Rory Williams or something?
Something like that.
And he's like, yeah, that's what I said, Mr. Pond. I love Rory. Like, everything I hated about Mickey is what I love about Rory.
That's funny.
Because they're both, like, almost the dumb, lovable, like, sidekick character. Yeah. Because that's the whole thing, is Mickey was Rose's ex. But that's what I love about Amy, is there is no sexual tension between Amy. Like, she's like, I mean, you're not bad. But she's like, no, I am, like, this is who I'm with. Yeah. And that's what I absolutely love.
Yeah.
So,
like, it is nice. Like, the episode itself, though, was, like, the storyline and stuff was kind of boring to me.
Okay. The Prisoner Zero.
Yeah.
Prisoner Zero is in the human,
especially
house,
for, like,
residence.
The first episode of the season, like, his first episode, they could have made it a lot better, I think. Okay. So.
I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I don't 100% agree with you, but I'm kind of, like, do I think it's a great episode? No. If this was, like, a mid-season episode, like, I think it'd be okay. But at the same time, like, there's no nice way to say it, so I'm just going to say it real quick. There were a lot of episodes I did not like through seasons 1 through 4.
Yeah.
This one, even to be, like, it's like, it's okay. It's still better than a lot of what we've seen. Yeah. And so, for one, there's 2 reasons I think that are behind that. One thing that as much as I love Moffat, as much as I love all these new characters, the thing I don't like is it's completely clean. It is a brand new slate. If you have never seen a single episode of Doctor Who in your entire life, you could watch this and you're like, okay, I get it. Yeah. It's a brand new Doctor and it's brand new companions. Yep. So this is only, like, the 3rd time ever that they've done that. Gotcha. So they did it one time from the 2nd Doctor to the 3rd Doctor, where they got rid of all the companions, and you actually see the Doctor, like, falling down a pit, and then when the 3rd Doctor comes out, he just, like, falls out of the TARDIS, because the Time Lords, like, kidnapped him. It's a long story. Okay. But it's funny, because that's also when it goes from black and white to color. And it's like, have you ever been so drunk that the world went colored? Because you see him, like, fall out of the TARDIS. So, I mean, you're like, okay, I kind of get that one. The second obvious one is after the movie from 1993 to when Rose came out. Brand new Doctor, brand new companion, brand new start. That, again, it makes sense because it's X amount of years later. Yeah. This one, it's literally, they only did it because they changed showrunners.
I mean, I think that's a good thing, though.
See, I don't like it. Spoiler, we'll see it again after Capaldi, when we get to the new showrunner, Chris. Brand new Doctor for 13, all brand new companions. Gotcha. I like a companion to bleed over. Like, granted, what they did with Donna and the memory and stuff like that, like, it wouldn't obviously make sense, but I like somebody...
But I feel like it also, like, depends on, one, like, how long the companion has been there, like, how many episodes and stuff like that. But I mean, it does make sense if you're gonna change showrunners, like to change it up.
Because it's almost like establishing dominance. Like,
yeah.
Like for Davies, when we went from 9 to 10, granted it had only been one season, but we got Rose that crossed over. For this one, again, kind of a spoiler, we'll go from Matt Smith to Capaldi with Moffat, and Clara is the companion at the time, and she blends over.
Gotcha.
And so it's like that showrunner thing. So, but besides the fact, I kind of agree with you. The story itself, mediocre at best. A lot of kind of fun little jokes and things like that. And that's like the actual story, like Prisoner Zero, I really don't give a fuck about.
No.
It's all character development. Like the whole opening scene when he's with like little Amy Pond, Karen's cousin in real life, and he's like, "Give me beans. Beans are gross.
Yeah.
Give me this. This is like I love
he
that."
Throws it like the butter on toast. He like chucks it out.
Don't come back.
Don't come back.
Like stuff like that. Like it's brilliant. Like I absolutely loved it. I thought it was funny as hell.
And then he was like, "Fish fingers and custard." Okay, bro.
Nope.
Whatever.
I noticed
it works.
Which is so funny because supposedly behind the scenes, Moffat tried to come up with something absolutely disgusting.
And that's what he came up with.
And then if you look at like a lot of the Doctor Who groups, like the crazy fans, which I'm sorry, I'm not gatekeeping at all. You do whatever fucking makes you happy. The crazy people out there are like, I love Doctor Who so much, I'm eating fish sticks and custard. And I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
No. That's disgusting. Like, I love Doctor Who. I'm not doing that because it's purposely meant to be like, even like stoner food. Like, not a thing.
That's not even stoner food. Like, no.
No.
That's like if you were homeless and you found fish fingers and custard.
Yep.
Like, that's, sorry.
It's not a thing.
But it was just funny, like when we were watching this episode, and I had mentioned that little Amy looks.
Oh yeah.
Like they did a really good job at picking the actress for it to look like Karen, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's her cousin." And I was like, "No fucking way."
I noticed he does say timey-wimey towards the beginning, so that's a great little reference to Blink, which it's a Moffat line, so I liked that. Showing just how fucking bad the Doctor is with time. We're supposed to be a 5-minute jump.
5-minute jump.
12 years. And then again at the end, does he say how long the jump is supposed to be at the very end of the episode? I think it's supposed to be 5 minutes again. But it ends up being like 2 years. Another 2 years. So, 12 plus... So 14 years. And he says, not spoiling any, or it's kind of a spoiler, whatever. Amy Pond, 14 years. The girl who waited. That's an important line.
Yeah,
that's an important line.
It's a
So
I know exactly what that's forever thing. Actually.
I don't think you do actually.
Yes, I do.
Because for those who don't know, Miranda has been joining me since I got to the 9th Doctor, off and on through videos, but we've watched the episodes together, and we are coming up to the end of where you got to.
Yeah.
It's close to the Amy and Pond exit.
It's close to it. I'm not sure if it was exactly at their exit.
But so we're coming up to it. So I'm super excited to actually get to that point. I love the kissogram. If you ever want to get me a birthday present, I'll take a kissogram. I don't know. Especially if it's Karen. I don't know, I'm sure she's watching that. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
You could just pay me and...
Oh, that's what it was! Yep. I was like, you
could just pay me. I mean...
I was so drunk when we watched this, and I was like, did I talk about kissing Miranda?
Yeah.
And that's why it was the kissogram.
No thanks. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Fuck you too, bro.
I don't remember the Umbrella Academy. What was that?
Oh, shit. The dude.
Luther.
Luther.
From the Umbrella Academy's in this episode.
Yep.
So that's kind of funny. Because the first time I watched this was obviously years before Umbrella Academy came out.
Because Tim was like
he's bulked up for Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
He's huge in that.
Oh, yeah. Weird. I wonder why.
Because he's part monkey.
I wonder why. Because he's part monkey. But no, Tim was like out of the room. I was like, Tim, who is that? Who is that? And he's like, who? And he like comes back in, he's like, that's the Doctor. I was like, no, wait. Wait a minute.
No. So that's not what I said. The first time it was that actor. It was the actor from the Umbrella Academy. But all I saw was like a profile for like a second. And then it moved again. And I was like, that almost looked like Patrick Wilson.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way Patrick Wilson is in Doctor Who. And then when it actually showed him, I was like, oh, it's the Umbrella Academy guy. So we get that. At one point, the Doctor starts taking off his clothes.
Which was, yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe this is the third time in Doctor Who history that we've seen a naked Doctor. Because we see the third Doctor in the shower. We saw 10 take off his shirt. Mm-hmm. And then now I think this is the third time we've ever seen a Doctor shirtless. I absolutely love the scene where he's talking to the giant eyeball, and he's like, I'm the Doctor! Like, look me up!
Yep.
And, like, it starts doing research, and then you actually see all of the previous Doctors, 1 through 12, and, like I said, like, the overall plot for this episode's not great.
No.
But little clips of it, like him eating fish fingers, like the 5-minute, 12-year jump, stuff like that. But that scene where you go through the Doctors and then he walks through the hologram like, number 11, at your service. Hey. But it's almost like him not even talking to the eyeballs, like him talking to the fans. Like, I'm the Doctor, here we are, get over it. Because anytime there's a new Doctor, fans freak the fuck out. Anytime.
I mean,
even when it went from 9 to 10, 10 to 11, everybody's like, David Tennant is God! And then sure enough, Matt Smith, and everybody loved Matt Smith, and we got to Peter Capaldi, and they're like, no, Matt Smith's amazing.
He's so childlike.
Which, do you know why?
I think that's kind of why I like him.
He is the youngest Doctor
Oh yeah,
ever.
we said this and you never told me.
He is 27.
Thank you.
The previous youngest Doctor was number 5, Peter Davison, the one from like Time Crash with the celery, who was 29 when he became the Doctor. Matt Smith is 27. Let me tell you.
Now.
Well, yeah, not
he
now.
Was
when he took over the role of Doctor Who, he was 27. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
I'm saying.
Which, seeing the Doctor as a 27-year-old and me being in my 30s, I'm like, what the fuck have I done with my life?
Not been on Doctor Who?
Which, the same thing. Like, if you ever go back and watch, like, the first episode of, like, Full House, like, everybody remembers Full House, watching it as a kid.
Yeah.
Uncle Jesse is, like, 22 in the pilot. And you're like, fuck, I'm old now. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm older than Uncle Jesse in Full House. I'm older than Uncle Jesse at the end of Full House. Married with twins. Anyways, we get to see Matt Smith snap and opens the TARDIS. A nice callback to Silence of the Library, where River tells the 10th Doctor, just snap your fingers and open the TARDIS. And he's like, the TARDIS doesn't open with a snap of your fingers. And she's like, it will! So, which is just one of the reasons I love River, but you hear the snap. And then the big twist of the wedding dress. This was like 10 years ago, maybe more, I don't even know. It's not a spoiler that Amy was about to get married. So we'll see more of that later on. But like I said, overall, it's almost like an SNL skit or something. Like the overall episode, meh. The good parts of this episode were brilliant. The even the bad parts of this episode were like a 6. But it sets it up nice for the plot, because we see the crack. That's the whole plot. That's the whole plot for the season. Yeah. Like, we've seen Saxon, we've seen Torchwood, we've seen Bad Wolf. It's the crack. Crack is the plot.
I really just
got a bump. Any other closing thoughts? No, we're done.
We're done.
Ending on the drug paraphernalia.
Yeah, we are.
So for those who have seen it, what did you think about, like I said, more of these, especially this far back, it's less of a review and more of just a, like, do you remember?
Yeah, do you remember this?
So, but as we get closer, that's when it gets more interesting. So, for those who have seen it, go ahead, let us know what you think. Otherwise, we will see you guys next time for The Beast Below.